Flight boss, bitch, you know for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Art Changer Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now we're gonna talk about now this is based upon your sun sign, and this is what's going on with you throughout the week based upon the transits and the synastry that Gaia, aka Torah, aka Earth, got in store for you. Now, based upon your sun sign, all your planets get filtered through the sun anyway, because that's what we can consciously see from you. Your actions, the way you act, and how you see things. So let's start off. We're talking about Sagittarius sun signs right now. Now, Sagittarius, today's sun is in Virgo. So off the bat, that's a square. So anytime there's a square, that's a learning process. So you're going to have to learn how to apply some new ways of thinking, and some practicality and common sense to your repertoire, because here's what's happening. Now, you share mutability, you share being mutable, but you're going to clash because Sagittarius is mutable fire, being mutable, being able to adapt to its own or other people's ways of seeing and being able to feel about things. Mutable signs come to broad conclusions, but fixed signs come to stable conclusions. Cardinal signs come to new conclusions and create conclusions. So what happens here is Virgo is mutable earth, being mutable, being able to adapt to its own or other people's ways of thinking and being practical, which ultimately is common sense. So you need to learn how to apply some of these things to your repertoire, or you're not going to be seen as a person that make any sense in this reality right now, or being too preachy, or a person who's trying to put meaning and reasoning behind too many actions when you're not actually being practical or making sense out of your actions and the way you see things. So it's not going to be effectively picked up. So it's going to vibrate low to other people, and you're not going to be able to obtain what you need to obtain without actually thinking of the reality or practical base of which are the ideas or the things that's actually coming to you as you being a Sagittarius. So right now you need to learn how to apply a mutable way of thinking and being practical to your ways of seeing and feeling about things. So your ways of seeing and feeling, a lot of times you see how your actions and the way you act and how you see things is to see how other people see things, how other people feel about things. Then you come to a broad conclusion on how you're supposed to feel and see about the broad perspective of it. But a lot of times that's going to revolve into faith and spirituality and things of that nature, where Virgo, everyone else's actions and what Gaia wants you to do is be a little bit more practical now. Make a little bit more sense right now. Bring it into reality. Be more tangible. Use a little bit more of the material or people, places, and things in front of you to actually carry out these duties and obligations right now. And you're going to be able to see. You're going to be able to see how much your load lighten up and see how much pressure you was putting on yourself. That was pressure that wasn't even there in the first place. So keep that in mind. So just learn how to add a little bit more reality to your broad abstract thoughts right now. Now also, even if you have to tie your spirituality to something that represent that in front of you at the moment. Now the moon is in Gemini. It's just slid out of Taurus, so it slid out the in conjunction and it's going in. So for this week right now, your actions and how you see things and the way you act is going to be at odds with who people are, who people really are, what makes them feel comfortable, the things that they react to. So right now, people reacting to your actions and the way you act and how you see things as far as a distaste. People don't even really want to communicate with your way of acting on these type of things right now, because they feel like that you're going to try to add too much meaning or reasoning to something, or to be too far out there. Right now, people want you to be a little bit more light, a little bit more communicative, a little bit more thin, a little bit more air, a little bit more see-through, not so much passion in front of the meaning and reasoning of what you're communicating. Communicate something that could be light and see-through, that could just be an idea, and it could be in one ear and not the other, or something like that. You have to be a little bit more frivolous, a little bit more curious, a little bit more instructive reading, instructions and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So right now, who people are is going to be at odds. So to make this a give and receive match other than a tug of war match, sometimes you're going to have to set aside the way you act and how you see things for the sake of who other people are and what makes them feel comfortable. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, and how you're going to do that is being a little bit more communicative, analyzing a little bit more, not taking things too much serious, and not putting too much stuff in the air. See, fire needs air, but fire might give air too much color, give air too much vision, give air too much sight, to the point that air can't breathe and flow through. It has to dance in wherever that fire is. So it wants to escape, but only way it can escape is by taking the fire with it and spreading the fire with it. And a lot of times air likes to be breezy. It doesn't even likes to be hot a lot of times, and humid and muggy. You know what I'm saying? To the point that's hot and volatile communication. They like to be light and air and thin, so they can rise up and cool down and create tornadoes and shit when they want to, and hurricanes when they want to. So you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times they want to be in control, but a lot of times fire be in control until they blow the whole fire out, because fire is giving it the color, the sight, and it's so the communication that fire give off is inspiration, expression. You know what I'm saying? Something you can see, something you can visualize. When air, a lot of times, is like to think and communicate about things that you can't see, but things that you can just keep into thought. So you know what I'm saying? A lot of times when Mercury sliding up out of that and sliding in sliding in Virgo, a lot of times you was catching a lot of that aspect, catching a lot of that energy. But for the most part, with your sun being in Sagittarius and the moon being in Gemini, you know what I'm saying, you have to set aside your actions for the sake of who other people are. Now, other people are going to be for the most part. You had a gift, because a trine, when Mercury was in Virgo, it was like in a trine. So you kind of had the gift of acting. You kind of had the gift of acting on your thoughts, your ideas. But right now it's sliding in Virgo. So you know what I'm saying, right now you gotta kind of be more practical. You gotta add more practical solutions, add a little bit more reality to your actions and the way you see things as far as your ideas. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your ideas is based upon reality and not too far out there in the abstract astral realm. You see what I'm saying? Make sure you take a lot of those ideas you're taking from the astral realm and compare it to something in reality in some type of way. And that's where you're going to be able to win people over and not just be seen as preachy, but be seen as teachy. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be seen as preachy. Preachers don't teach anything. They just inspire. A teacher actually teach something without having to sound preachy. You see what I'm saying? So that's the realm of reality you want to get in as being a Sag. You want to dip from the preachy right brain and get teachy on the left brain. And that's one left brain attribute I will say that's a good thing. Now, as far as Venus, now, I don't know if I did this or not, but I might have mistaked earlier in the video and said that the moon, I might have been was talking about the moon when I meant to be talking about Mercury, as far as sun signs being the Sagittarius. But, you know what I'm saying, I don't think I did. But for the most part, Venus being a Leo. So you have your actions, this is a gift, it's a trine. So your actions, the way you act and how you see things, you actually have the gift of being loved, being appreciated, being valued, and being related to by others. Your actions also has the gift of loving others, valuing others, relating to others, compromising with others. So keep that in mind. But for the most part, it's a gift. So it's something that you have to actually get up and do. So you know what I'm saying, you might not do it all the time, but for the most part, you got that gift. Your actions and the way you act a lot of times can be supported, or you can play the supporting role for others right now, and it's highly relatable. So you have that gift of being relatable right now. You have that gift of acting on being relatable and compromising and understanding, indulging and not indulging, and things of that nature. Now, when we talk about Mars is in Virgo, so this is another square. You have to learn how to add some intent, willpower, passion, and motivation to your actions right now, to the way you see things and how you feel right now. And how you do that is add more practicality and trying to understand. And when you look at your desires and your passions and your willpower and your motivations, sit back and see how other people think and how other people make their desires work for them, or how they practically go for their desires and their willpower and their passions, and then come to a broad conclusion, and that'll be able to help you create a foundation that you can get your desires and motivations out there. Facilitate, that's the word I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? I need to stop trying to look for big words, because I don't even give a fuck about the English language. So I'll be trying to sound smart and shit and be sounding like a smart dumbass nigga. It don't think I don't know. I'm very aware of my goddamn self. Don't think I don't know. Don't think I don't know. I'll tell you in a second. Now, we want to talk about today's Jupiter is in Libra. So off the back, this is a sextile for my Sagittarius. So sextile is going to create opportunities for better or worse, but you're gonna witness opportunities. So what happens here is you're going to witness opportunities to create experiences for others, create timelines, or you're going to witness opportunities to be in timelines, be in experiences for better or worse. But you're going to be able to add meaning and reasoning, so you like that. And also you're going to be able to gain a lot of wisdom and knowledge and come to a broad philosophical point of view about the experiences that you went into. But the way you got to understand these experiences is due to the fact of communicating, analyzing, judging, being fair, you know what I'm saying, and initiating these ways. So a lot of times when you're trying to be too fair, too relatable, well, not too fair, but too relatable, too adaptable, you know what I'm saying, to see how other people, a lot of times you have to learn how to initiate the convo, though, initiate the conversation, initiate the thought process, initiate the experience. You are the initiator. As a sun sign Sagittarius, you're going to witness opportunities where you initiate what's going on, and if you don't, you're going to find everything fall down because the people you're around ain't capable of sparking this energy. But for the most part, you need to learn how to initiate, and that's why, because Jupiter is in Libra, which is cardinal air, initiating and creating new ways of thinking and communicating. So how to make your sextile work for you in a positive way is learning how to, well, you take your Sagittarius energy, your actions, the way you act is seeing, being mutable and being able to adapt to your own or how other people way of seeing and feeling about the circumstances, but actually initiating and creating new ways of communicating and relating and talking about what you have witnessed and what you have learned and the meanings of reasonings you have gathered by seeing the ways of other people see and feel about things. So when you initiate your way of communicating and thinking about these things, you end up being the one with the most wisdom in these experiences in general. Now Saturn is in Sagittarius, so this is conjunction energy. So your actions, the way you act and how you see things, actually has the power of creating reality, of sustaining reality, gaining stability in their life, and knowing what to place boundaries and restrictions and limits on in their life. Yeah, so you are an example for others who want to gain stability in their life. Your way of seeing things, your way of feeling about things, and coming to broad conclusions. You know how to kind of gain stability, make money. You know how to get in and get out and create ways of stability for yourself faster than others, even faster than Earth signs right now. Now anytime you got conjunction energy going on, even if it's not the direct degree, it's still conjunction energy. Anytime you have that kind of energy going on, you have a power. Now what power is? Responsibility. Now you have to learn how to not go overboard. Don't be overbearing or try to show too much power issue or too much control over this area, you know what I'm saying, and to the point that you're trying to preach or teach people what they should be doing to gain stability in their life. But try not to be too passive, you know what I'm saying. Also, you know what I'm saying, not show your power, because actually you do have this energy right now that you can teach people. So long as you're creating this balance right now, you actually have the gift, you have the power right now. Now Uranus is in Aries, so this is a trine. So you also, your actions, the way you act and how you see things, has the gift of being unique and original, but also has the gift of experiencing change, rebellion, and opposition with your way of acting and how you see things, because there's a lot of rapid changes going on. But you're able to relate to this because the energy that is doing it in is in fire. So you could debate, or it's like a friendly debate, agree to disagree type thing, and everybody able to be optimistic and learn and teach or gain some wisdom from the circumstance or the situation of these changes that we're experiencing right now as far as a generation. And then Neptune is in Pisces. So this is a square, but this is a good square. Same way like Gemini and Virgo is a good square. This is a good square because they're planet shares. So they share Jupiter. So right now, this square, anytime there's a square, there's a learning process. But this type of square, they get to experience the learning process and gain all the wisdom and knowledge in the world right here. So with this square right here, the only reason it can clash is you just need to learn how to add a little bit emotions, a little bit, add a little bit adaptability to the emotional stance of others. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so dry to others' emotions. But when it comes to feeling, the feelings is exploring right now, and right now, for the most part, it understands it because of Jupiter nature. So you're able to gain wisdom and knowledge and experience on other people's emotions anyway, and you're going to be able to feel it like you never felt it before now, because you already a feeler. You're already a right brain. So now you get to see other people's emotions right now. You get to learn how to see it. Because if you don't learn how to see it, you're going to experience where your fire going to get put out. You see what I'm saying? So you need to learn how to see people's emotions and feelings, and learn that this kind of fluid ain't the fluid to burn you out. It's the fluid to fuel steam to make you creative. And that'll be on the positive aspect of it. And then when you get to Pluto, Pluto is in Capricorn. So right here, this is you're not catching your actions, the way you act and how you see things, is in no direct influence towards deep transformative situations or deep desires, deep willpower, deep passions. So if you're a person who trying to go for your deep desires and deep passions or trying to transform something, you may not be successful, but at the same time, you're not in the way of anybody else's deep desires and transformation, and you're not causing no other deep transformative situations for others. So you're not in the way of anybody's negative side either. So that's a good thing. And that's your planetary alignment. Well, your planetary transits. Goddamn, they here.